Hi, and welcome to my channel, Purposeful Play, where I talk about all things early childhood education. I'm Danielle, and I am a 4K teacher in Wisconsin. And today, I'm going to share with you some ideas that you can use with journals, and journals with preschoolers. So let's get started. So first, I'll share with you what kind of journals you can have. So these ones that are colorful, I got at the Target dollar spot at back to school time, and they came 8 in a pack for not $1. I think they were probably the $3 maybe. And I bought a whole bunch. I think I bought enough for next year as well too, but because I hadn't seen them before, well, I haven't been looking for them, but I found them this year and I was really excited to get these ones. And they are blank inside, which I really prefer blank pages instead of the lines because I think they're a bit more versatile and flexible. So I have those ones. You could also just take white paper and staple a bunch of pieces together. That works totally fine. Or if you want to be really fancy, you could take a piece of construction paper for a cover and then put white paper and staple it inside. So those are my few ideas. You can also use the composition notebooks that you can get really cheap, really any time of the year. But those ones have lines in them, so that's why I'm not like a super fan of those ones. But I'm really excited about the Target ones that we're using this year. So let me tell you some ideas that we've used this year. For the most part, I try to use these journals with whatever study we're doing. So if we're doing a study on, well, actually, I'll show you some things that we've done with balls. So one day we were talking about balls, and we were talking about the letter B. So the kids were practicing writing the letter B, and we talked about the difference between shapes, the circle and the sphere. So the kids were practicing drawing circles in their journal. And this was during a small group time. So that was one activity that we did. And then another one was I had stamps. So I had letter stamps, and I just took the kids just pulled one out of the little basket. They stamped it on there, and then they practiced writing the letter. So obviously this one didn't have anything to do with our study, but it was just another way to practice letter recognition and practicing their fine motor skills. Here's one that we did one day. They were asked to draw a picture of their favorite thing to do with a ball, and this little friend loved to play soccer. I mean, how cute is that? So like I said, a lot of the things are drawing or writing. They don't always have to be drawing or writing. I'll show you a few more that are drawing and writing, and then I can talk about other things that you can do that's not drawing or writing. Part of our building study, the kids drew a picture of their house. So here's when she was drawing her house. We've talked about the materials they were made out of. So obviously hers is made out of bricks, and she has a red door. So she started calling the red door. I guess she didn't finish her bricks here, but she's also starting to write the word my house. Isn't that fantastic? During our building study, we were talking about shapes, so the shapes that we could see in and around homes. And so I was giving the kids clues to shapes, and I had them draw what they thought the shapes were. So here's, there were ovals and all the different shapes, and then she decided to draw these hearts as well. She was actually teaching the rest of the kids in our group how to draw. I keep looking at the journal and not at the camera thingy-mabobby, so sorry. I'll look at you now, not the journal. So she was teaching the rest of the group how to draw hearts. So I like when it kind of takes its own turn when we're doing our journals. So those are some ideas for drawing and writing. Another idea is just having kids take a strip of paper, and they can cut it up into little pieces or shapes or whatever, and you can have them either just like straight glue them into their books, or maybe you have them use these pieces to create something and put that in their journals. So that's a simple, easy way to practice some fine motor, could be some shape recognition, and that creativity as well. I was just checking my list here. A couple other ideas you can use are things like those circle stickers. So you can have the kids use those circle stickers, and maybe you're asking them to create shapes or letters. putting those stickers down on the paper. Another idea is doing rubbings. So depending on what you're studying, again, you could use leaves if you're doing a tree study. Maybe if you have coins and you've been talking about money or the differences between the different coins, you can use coins. You might use different materials if you're doing the clothing study or building study. So really anything you can think of that might have some kind of texture to it, you can use those and a crayon and do rubbings. It's really fun to see the way how kids progress from the beginning of the year in their journals to the end of the year. So having them do a self-portrait in the beginning, maybe in the middle, and also at the end of the year in their journals is really great to see how their fine motor skills and attention to detail has changed. So that's a really fun one to do in journals. Also to do practice writing their names. So the first thing you can do before they even write their name is give them their name, but it's already cut up. I know I'm using this piece again, but it's already cut up. So you write the letters of their name on a strip of paper and you cut it up and it's all mixed up. So then they have to unmix them and glue them down in their book so that they can see the order of their letters. And then as they progress, they can start writing the letters on their own. So another thing we do is rainbow writing. So having them, you can do it first if they're not ready to do that. So print out their name and they take their crayons and color it, trace over it in blue, and then they trace over it in purple, and they trace over it in all the colors of the rainbow, and then they're creating a really pretty name, and they're also practicing their name. You might also, depending on your kids and their needs, you might go ahead and draw shapes or lines or things like that, or numbers in their journals before you do a small group activity with it. So maybe you are learning about shapes and you draw a square on everybody's paper and they have to turn that square into something else. So letting them be creative in that. If they're not able to draw the squares, then they can maybe use your square and turn it into something else. Do-a-dot markers are really fun. You can roll dice and have the kids dot that many times in their journal, or you could take it a little further, roll the dice, do that many dots, and then also write the number with a pencil. So these are fun in journals. Stickers, those circle stickers are also, actually really any stickers are great. So having them use stickers and just putting them in the journal, they can count them. Maybe you already have numbers written in their journal and they have to put that many stickers beside that number. But stickers are really great for fine motor, so stickers. Also keeping journals around the class, not just their regular journals, but other ones. We have these in our Discovery Center. So this is one of our friends, his little science journal. So I showed the kids how to make observations. At the beginning of the school year, we talk about how we, as scientists, learn about things. We use our 5 senses. So I sometimes will point out to the kids that when they're at the Discovery Center to grab their science journal and write down what you observe. What do you see? What do you know? So this is, again, another way for them to document what they know and what they're learning about. It could be absolutely anything. So don't think that it's a place where the kids have to write words or they have to draw pictures. It could be anything, really. They could be cutting and gluing, or they could be drawing, they could be writing, whatever you think would work. I just want to finish off by saying that the way that I use journals is probably very different, or could be very different than the way other people do. I like to use it as a place for kids to document their knowledge. And a lot of it has to do with or revolves around the study. So we'll often have a little discussion on the carpet in large group, and then we'll take that discussion and share our ideas or put our ideas onto paper in the journals. And again, it's also a really good place to practice other things, letters, numbers, pre-writing skills, and those kinds of things. So that's how I use journals. Maybe you have a different way you would like to share, and I would love to hear about it. So give it a thumbs up if you like this video and share any other ideas you have, and I will see you next time. Have a happy day.